We live our lives together with our pets, so closely bonded, but then, one day, we have to say goodbye. And today, we're gonna talk about that day. Alright, so this isn't the easiest video to make. I just recently lost my cat, Jack. He was the most loving cat I have ever met, and I have worked in a shelter, so I've met a lot of cats. And he was the walking love. He loved everybody. He was never in a bad mood. He was just a ray of sunshine all the time, and he never let you down. He was never grumpy. He didn't understand the concept of having a bad day. All until a few days ago, when suddenly he went from his usual happy and relaxed self to having pain issues, and you could tell he was sick. But he had come back from the brink of death so many times that we just assumed he would come back from this. And the vet journey began, and we did everything we could. Our vet did everything she could. And we also tried to make his last days as beautiful as possible, even though he had to go to the vets every day. And this is something that is really important to me. I have lost so many pets. I worked at a dog hospice, so some of them went over the Rainbow Bridge when I worked there, and I did say goodbye to many of my own. And I always wanted them to have a beautiful last days, weeks, months. So when it showed that the end is nearing, I put a lot of effort in making it as comfortable as possible, doing the things the animals loved, and not putting any pressure on them, not forcing them to go on walks for the dogs or anything like that. We just did what they loved to do and enjoy their last moments together with us, and also start the process of saying goodbye already. Because deep down, even if with Jacky we thought he could come back from that this time, but deep down we knew, or I knew, it's just they tell us. And if you worry that you will miss the point where suffering begins, if you really put aside rational thinking and just feel, you will know. They tell you. They all do. Even the ones who want to leave alone and quietly. And we had such a dog in the hospice. She said her goodbyes, and overnight she just went to sleep and she never woke up again. There are dogs like this. There are also cats like this. And any other animal. And some want to be accompanied on their last way. Some want us to be there with them. And this is so important to me. I want to be there for them when they want me to be. I want to be there. So if I have to have the vet over for euthanasia or if I have to go to the vet to euthanize a pet, I always like to do it at home if that's more relaxing for the animal. It's different for every animal, but I want to be there with them. And not everybody is feeling up to that, and that's okay. But if you can, be there for your pet. And it never gets easier. I have really done this with a lot of animals, and it never gets easier. It's never less sad. But what I find helps me is going through a ritual of saying goodbye. Depending on how long it takes for the animal to get ready, and then during the process of euthanasia or a natural death, again, this depends on the animal, I think, and the path you choose for your animal will be the right one. My own animals, except for my first senior dog, could not leave on their own. They needed help because otherwise they would have suffered. We can help our dogs with that, and I think for me, I want my pets to go peacefully. I want them to not have pain. I want them to not suffer. But again, it's not necessary all the time, and it really depends on the pet. So if you listen to your heart, you will know what's the right thing to do. And the only two things I do really recommend for everybody walking this path together with their pets is, on one hand, every emotion is okay. If you feel like celebrating, having fun, taking your mind off, playing with your other animals, celebrating the life of your pet, do that. If you feel like crying and just shutting yourself off of the world for a little bit, that's okay too. And if you feel like there is nobody to talk to, but you need to talk to somebody, go to a professional. So, however you want to process this, and however you can process this loss, is okay. It just needs to be processed. And the second thing I recommend is something I always do, because I find it helps my other pets with their process of grief. I take the body of my deceased animal home. So if they die at the vets, I try to avoid this, but if they die at the vets, I take them home and I let my other pets say goodbye. They really do. And I find that whenever they get the chance to do that, they will not search for them after. So it helps them. And then there is a process of grieving. And your other pets, depending on their relationship with the deceased pet, will grieve too. So you can do that together in any way you want to, in any way that feels good. And if you want to ask me any questions, put them in the comments. I will try to answer them as best as I can. And I wish you a lot of strength. Whenever you go that path, I wish your pup or your cat or any animal a peaceful journey, same as I wish my Jack. With that, we'll see each other next time. Bye.